Good evening and welcome to the school committee meeting, December.
Well, it should be January.
January 9th. I'm looking at the minutes of the last meeting. January 9th, 2018. And we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
There are no adjustments to the agenda.
There's no 8.1, it's just blank, right?
Under old business, there's no old business.
Okay.
Okay, any comments from the public? All right, hearing none, then we'll move on to number 3, which is a celebration of learning with the student council.
Hello, my name is Ryan Robichaud and I'm the Student Council President.
Hello, my name is Caden Cole.
Hi, my name is Chia Biello and I'm the secretary.
Hi, my name is Cal Burns.
Hi, my name is Caleb Cole. I'm the vice president.
Hi, my name is Sophie Shaw.
Alright, so there is 6 kids that are students that are not here today, including Addison Long, Celia Perks, Jasmine Gonzalez, Brooke Williams, Gwen Sakalis, and Aiden Wood. So the Student Council so far, we've adopted a family where we purchased gifts and a full holiday dinner for a family of 5. We had a dance that was the Winter Ball themed. And some upcoming events is the huge May Madness event, which happens in May. We have Spirit Weeks in February and April. And we will be thinking about ways to service students beyond just the dance. And we're building a community and ownership and maybe repainting the bathrooms.
Nice.
Repainting the bathrooms, is that what I heard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very important.
I would just like to say, as their advisor, it is a fantastic group of young people. So I'm very proud of them. Some of them have been on council for the long haul. And just a great group of people, eager to do things amongst the school, always bringing things back to meetings and wanting to know how they can better our school department.
Awesome.
These students and the others are involved not only in student council, but in many extracurricular activities. And I take an opportunity to thank Jen. She does a great job with the kids and helps mold the leadership for the school through student council.
Thank you.
Great. Anybody have any questions for her?
Great.
No? Thank you very much.
This is another council member, Aiden
Ah.
Witt.
Hey,
Yeah, we heard his name. So how often do you meet?
It's usually 2 times a month, sometimes 3, depending on what activities we have for that month. Any questions?
Any questions of
Any other
our
questions?
council?
Oh, keep up the good work.
Yeah, guys are doing a great job.
Yep.
So you have to get elected into this position, correct?
Yes, it's a school. Well, it's a school vote into the student council, and then once you get in the council, you vote for the positions like president, secretary, vice president, and treasurer.
Very good.
They're really good at, students might come to me and say, hey, we want to put a Ferris wheel on the roof. What do you think of that, Mr. Ross? And I'll say, maybe we should bring that to student council and get some feedback. I'll just use that as an example, but things come my way and sometimes I just divert it off to the student council and they kind of mull it over as a body of students representing their classmates and we kind of work through them.
Now,
They do a great job.
You're not working on the cafeteria food this year? A lot of times that's what we hear.
That's a hot topic very often. And I will say that, no, they're not going to wear hairnets.
Okay.
Like we have really pushed that and voted on that. And actually, at one year, one of the students looked into it as a statewide and contacted other schools, and it went pretty So come to find out, the hats will do. So So nope, we have not tackled anything in the cafeteria this year. No seating, no nothing.
Well, there used to be a salad bar back in the
Did.
day. So you should
Yes.
fight for the salad bar.
Yes, Ryan, were you on council
Just
when we did this,
a
fighting for? Okay, so it was
suggestion.
before Ryan.
I think
Ryan
the
was
card
on
is
the
still down in the
longest.
basement.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was, that's healthy,
Yes.
Interesting dialogue. You come here and the school committee member gives you a cause. That's democracy in action. Thanks, Mary.
We were definitely told that the salad bar is beyond, they needed to hire another staff member to have that.
To chop all of the stuff.
Yeah.
What about water?
And clean it up, and
How about water as a beverage choice in the cafeteria?
water as a beverage choice, another one that's been brought up. There's a fountain.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you,
Yeah.
we have hit so many things to do with the cafeteria.
No, but a choice instead
And-
of people who don't drink milk, say, in the
Right.
cafeteria, you can't just have milk and chocolate milk. Just bringing
No.
this up.
Yes,
Another healthy choice is what I drink.
which is water.
I don't
Well,
wanna-
in previous years, water bottles have been given out to the kids too, so that they can have reusable bottles to fill up with
So
water.
we want to bring that, because we don't have anything for the cafeteria this year. We could.
That'd
we
be
could do the
that'd be a
water
good
bottle.
that'd be a good green thing also. Reusable bottles.
Because the cafeteria has definitely been a hot topic in years past.
Yes,
Mm.
very good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very
Nice
much.
job, Council.
Takes a lot of work to organize these events.
Yeah.
You guys deserve
Thanks
a
for coming.
job.
Really appreciate it. Thank
Not
you.
going there.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm just talking about all these theories these people have.
Okay, so let's move on to number 4, which is a consent agenda, and I will look for a motion to accept the consent agenda.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded that we accept the consent agenda. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor? 4-0. Okay, we'll begin with the superintendent update next.
Thank you. Just have a few items. Kevin's on vacation, and I asked him not to try to Skype in tonight to take a vacation. He reluctantly agreed. Andy's not feeling so hot. He's under the weather, so we gave him the night off. I insisted that he take some time on that to get better. We rescheduled our work with PBIS on the consequence side of PBIS. We talked about it at the last meeting. By now, we would have had Pat Red come in and we would have had brainstormed our majors and our minors. We pushed everything out because of the snow day. That was the day she was coming and her schedule's pretty tight. So now we're out to the end of the month before we have our extended ERD with our faculty. So by the next school committee meeting, I should be able to report back on that. Boys basketball beat the teachers by 2 points in a very, very good assembly game last Friday. I think the men in the faculty were a bit surprised by our boys basketball team. It was within 2 points the whole way, and in the last 2 seconds, one of our boys basketball members shot a 2-pointer and made it from quite a distance. Just threw it up and went through. It was just a
Wow.
Hollywood ending to a great
Nice.
game. Place went crazy. No school next Monday, Martin Luther King Day.
Are the girls gonna do a game as well?
Girls this Friday.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah, the girls will be playing the female faculty this Friday. Hope it's as good. And no school this coming Monday, and that's it for my report.
All right.
And we beat Sanford yesterday, yes? The
The
boys?
boys did. The
Okay.
girls haven't, the Stanford girls are undefeated, I think, or maybe they've lost one, but they're tough competition. But the boys, I think, were up by quite a bit. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they've had
They have a lot more
season.
teammates to choose from. So.
Right.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Well, we also play their 7th graders.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
Oh,
We
okay.
played the 7th grade
Oh,
schedule.
okay.
They have 2
Because we
teams.
have one
Okay.
team.
But still.
But I think we
That's
only
still
have
good
2
for the
8th
boys.
graders, right?
Yeah.
It pans out.
Yeah.
It
Good.
really does.
Okay, does anyone, number 5-2, does anybody have any questions from the administrative reports?
None this month.
None this month.
Write that down in the notes. Mary had gone,
This month.
and Kevin wasn't here, so there we go.
Scratch that.
All right, then, let's move on to number 6. Policy Committee. 6.1 is the Budget Procedure Manual.
Yep, we have it up to date here. Kim has kindly redone the whole thing again here, so we can call it tonight, unless there's something
Right.
vital that was missed. I mean, I read it over and looked at it.
Good. It's
What?
important, it's good, it's important that we get the vote tonight so that this can be sent out tonight or first thing in the morning to warrant finance selectmen. You have it. This is really the document, or pieces of this document that'll steer our conversation on the 18th,
Yep.
which is our meeting with the other town officials to talk about the budget process. So we can't send that out until we get approval this evening, and I want to thank Kevin and Jeanette and Kim for the work they put into this document.
So this is an updated document, or is this a new document?
This is a brand new
This is a
document,
brand new document, that's what I thought.
and it's basically to just outline our whole budget procedure and process, so that way, and then it ties in our policies, and state regulations that go with it. So that way, as we meet on the 18th, we'll go over, this is our step-by-step, this is how a warrant is done, this is why a warrant is done this way, here's the state laws that go with it, this is why we're gonna follow this procedure, so that way, everybody is on the same page and they understand why we have to do it the way we do.
Well, how I looked at it was, all right, say I was gonna be superintendent for a day. And I said, I wanna know how Acton School does their budget process. And that's how I read it,
Yes.
and it's so good.
Very precise.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You could step in and understand our budget system.
Well, and that's part of a lot of the stuff that I'm trying to do in central office, because where it is just a one-person type
Yeah.
office, anything can happen, and I'm trying to document everything step by step.
Yep.
So that way, there is a procedure that's always here that somebody
Yeah.
can follow.
Yeah.
There was also a real active, there was a part there was an agreement, and it was very active that we capture what went well last year, because I thought last year went really well. We were very transparent was the word, and everything, all the information was there. And we wanted to capture the pieces that really worked and kind of document that as it happened last year. And if we refine the process and do even a better job this year, we'll reflect updates in this. So it makes sense to revisit this prior to every budget season
Yep.
and make any amendments that we need to going into the next budget. Because that's what we'll be doing with most of our time, starting the next time we meet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really liked the samples, that was
Right.
really good.
Yeah.
What's included is the articles,
Yes.
our articles,
Yeah.
How
all
they're
set.
written.
And then on January 18th, we're gonna have a, informational meeting,
Right.
budget procedures.
Correct.
Right,
And
so
this
we'll
is-
present this, this will go out to Warren and Finance, along with, again, the timeline.
Right.
So they have all the dates.
Yep.
And that way they have time to review it and read it and, kind of be a little more prepared, because I don't want to give it to them that night. I'd like them to have
Yeah.
it beforehand.
Right.
Right.
And that way, everybody can, I would think the conversation would go a lot smoother. Everybody would get a really good understanding of our process, so.
Yeah. And this is an informational meeting, so anybody out there that wants to show up and
Yeah.
gather some information is welcome. That's the 18th at 6 o'clock.
Yes.
Correct. That's with this board,
Yep,
warrant and finance,
Right.
and the selectmen.
anyone, any.
Oh, and any public, of
Any-
course,
that's what
but
I'm
those,
saying, right.
those are the
Yeah.
folks who are getting the
Anybody,
mailing
right,
and will
yeah.
be
Yep,
part of the info night, so
Yeah.
we'll all be working together.
Well, we should have copies for the public.
Yeah,
Sure, well,
Yeah.
it's stacked, yeah.
but again, I just didn't want to print a whole bunch until.
No,
we
no,
were
no,
done
no,
here.
no, no, we
So
didn't need to
what we
do
need to
that.
look at tonight then is the acceptance of the procedures manual
Yeah.
and updating the policies that are in.
The policies that are in here,
included.
yes.
Yes.
They're all, like I said, I gave you any changes, what was added to them in the first email. So that way you had what the changes are, and then this is a clean copy. So the only thing that would change is I would update the date on the bottom to tonight. And then on each of the policies,
It would be updated.
you have the review date. I will add the review date to this.
Yep.
Then I will print out the revised policies, update the book So that way the book is all updated as well, and our website, and then I'll make final, a final copy of everything with all the dates on it, and that's what I'll send out to everybody.
Okay. So I'll look for a motion to accept the budget procedures manual, which includes updates on 2 policies. And those
No.
policies would be,
4 policies. The 4 policies right on, listed on the front.
Right on the front.
DIA, DB, DBD, and DBD-R,
Yeah.
all connected to the budget process.
Right. I'll make that motion, that we accept this budget procedure manual, including DIA, fiscal accounting and reporting, DB, annual budget, DBD, budget planning, and DBDR, budget planning procedure.
Second.
Any further discussion on this? If not, all those in favor?
The other 2 policies that were sent to you, again, these are reviews. BCA and BCB, these are both school committee member code of ethics, and then school committee conflict of interest. This was also one that Kevin felt that these 2, because there is a sentence at the very end about ethics, so we wanted the date updated also as well as for tonight. So to do that, these 2 policies also should be, again, reviewed and looked at, and then there were a few changes in the, which one of them?
Well, Acton School District became Acton School Department.
Yes.
Board of School Directors became School Committee.
Yeah, yeah. So
So-
BCA had a few changes into it, and then I don't think BCB had
No.
anything.
On BCB, I found that one little thing there.
Oh,
On the second page,
yep,
the definitions, A,
yep.
employee means a person who receives a monetary payment or benefits. And shouldn't there be a word in there that says, no matter the amount paid?
Oh, yeah. Matter the
Oh, yeah.
amount.
No matter.
No matter,
Oh,
right?
Oh,
No matter the amount paid or
Very
hours
minute,
worked.
but, yeah.
Yep,
That's why we're reviewing.
that's right.
you keep looking at these all the time, and
I
you
know,
just
after a while,
don't.
they kind of go,
Those-
So I will look for a motion to
I don't know if we motion on reviews.
approve the
We-
updates.
I think you do
Update.
We just
because you
approved
made
the updates.
changes.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Right, you want to make, you
Okay.
want to approve the changes that were made.
So, motion to approve the updating of policy BCB and BCA.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we approve updating of these policies. Any further discussion? All in favor? Okay, we're moving on to number 7 now, which is new business.
That's IXL data. This is a presentation with Mike in the spirit of continuous progress monitoring of our students' learning and achievement. This month, we thought we'd bring to you the IXL program and to provide you with some information on how our students are achieving across the curriculum with standards. So I'm going to give that to Mike and get out of the way so he can present to you.
And while Mike's setting up there, I think it's a great idea that you have these little tech teams in your cohorts. I was reading about those in your report. I think that's a great idea to have teams to go back and work with the cohorts.
It was well received by the team members of the cohorts as well.
Good.
Is that also somebody that they can ask a question to rather than trying to track you down?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody who's tech savvy, who's able to, if they don't know the answer,
Yeah.
isn't afraid to go and dig and figure it out. Correct. Yes. Ms. Goodman was nominated as far as the ally. So this presentation is just going to demonstrate the program we use known as IXL, which covers math, ELA, science and social studies, K-8, in our, it spans K-12. And the data that will be presented is the average number of skills students proficient in over time across the entire school, and then broken down mastery on each of those skills by the teacher and grade level. This is an example. Well, I missed one. So pre-K through kindergarten, we have licensing for math. ELA is available in math in 1st and 2nd grade. The math piece will actually read the questions and answers out to the students for pre-K and kindergarten. And 1st and 2nd grade teachers can enable that feature if needed, because students haven't quite learned how to read. ELA isn't available yet with that function or functionality, so it's not in kindergarten. And then 3 through 8 have access to all curriculum, all content. And I want to point out that IXL and all of these skills that are available are all aligned to standards. So teachers have the ability to go in and see what skills the students are not excelling at, but also see what standards that may align to, and potentially report on that on the report cards. And I'm hoping to meet with each cohort and demonstrate how they can utilize this tool to target students and report out in Mastery Connect if needed or wanted. So this is a ELA presentation of data. Proficiency progressed over time, average throughout the school.
What's the axis, left, right, and, vertical, horizontal?
Yeah.
I can't quite see it. Can you tell us what we're looking at?
Sure.
Over time?
The left is the number of skills proficient in, and the bottom is the time by month. So it starts in September, January, February, September. And yeah, it's not very.
But I mean, look at what happens from about, I don't know, maybe week 2 through month 4.
Yeah, they start really digging in
Right.
to the program, to the tools, to the resources. This is what it looks like across grade levels. This also demonstrates a matter of who's using what, and which students are mastering skills in each one of these. So a teacher may be having students use the ELA IXL resource daily, but not everybody's mastering them. The skills that they're accessing or using. I don't have a bigger screen. I'm using my phone.
Well, if you could talk through some of the data, I don't have to get into each teacher's data,
No,
but I mean, there's
on the
a
left-hand
range.
column,
Yeah.
you'll see the teacher's name starting with this being ELA. Yeah, being ELA would start with Patty's class, I believe, and work its way down to Miss Scully's 8th grade class. And you can see students who have mastered, being the blue bar, the number down on the bottom are the number of skills that the students have mastered overall in the entire class. So the middle one is Miss Rich's class. So her class in all as a group have mastered roughly, it looks like
145.
yeah, 145, 150 skills.
So I want to be careful that because there's teachers' names going down the left axis, that we don't use this as any kind of a comparison, because that's not the intent.
No.
The intent is to look at a group of kids, and then I think Patty can probably comment on how you use IXL. I think it depends on how you use it as well.
Yeah.
And every group of kids who comes in, every class is different, and of course, the younger they are, the more they have to get accustomed to the actual format of using IXL. Did you say that?
Yeah, so I just wanted to speak to what happens in my classroom right now. Right now, at the lower levels, Lexia takes precedent in a lot of ways because it has all of their phonemic awareness and all of the foundational skills that they need. So what I've done in my classroom, they have IXL assignment sheets, one part for math, one part for language arts. I have 7 who, when I looked at Lexia, at their reports, either had already gotten into 2nd grade, so they're okay to move on, or the trajectory had them out of 1st grade in the next couple months. So I said, okay, so the 7 of them have an assignment sheet, and they're in the more challenging skills of IXL right now. And with the promise that they would go back to Lexia because they like the certificates at the end of each level. I'm all good with that. I want them through 1st grade Lexia anyway. And then as they accomplish what they need to and get through the 1st grade Lexia, they'll all move into the IXL language arts. So that's how we're using it more down on our end, so that they make sure they get those foundational skills from Lexia that they need. So.
Yeah, Lexia is an excellent tool and resource for the younger grades, K, and we are licensed for K through 3 for every student. So yeah, she's been working with Lexia as her primary tool for ELA for the K2 cohort. So and then we have IXL Math. Again, the left-hand column is the number of skills achieved over time, with the bottom being the time.
Similar to ELA.
Similar.
Okay.
But as you flip it, it's the younger kids are using the Math IXL more than the ELA. Again, it's available to kindergarten through 8th grade. And then with science, the skills along the left, the time on the right, bottom.
That kicks in 3rd grade?
3rd grade, yes, is when they start using the science. And they were using it a lot for supplement resource to help them with the PLTW program, to keep them aligned with the standards that the students need to learn for the main learning results. And it's Mr. Cody enjoys using IXL to support his science program. And then social studies. And this one, Ms. Puffer uses this almost daily, I would say, with her class. She has a social studies period when she uses it. I mean, sorry, Ms. Topol.
Yeah.
Yes, sorry. So that is it.
So when we say they're using IXL, this is all on a computer or on a handheld device? What are they using?
The computer. It's an interactive computer website. The teachers have the ability to analyze data, and the students will progress through questions that align to a specific skill set. You saw that first slide with a big list of skills.
Yeah.
That was just math.
Is it possible, maybe, I know we have pretty tight agendas with budget, but it's not all we're going to be doing for the next few months. Would it be possible, Mike, to show up on what screenshot of how to work through IXL for the committee to see? Go in as a student and work through some problems at the first grade as well as the 8th grade, so you get a sense of what kids are doing. We
Yeah,
certainly
I'd
don't
like
need to do that tonight, but I think that'd be kind of cool to do.
Mhm.
If you could go in and kind of show them, kind of like, try it yourself.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Well, the kids can access it from home too, correct?
Okay. Yes, it can.
Yeah.
We have the NWAs. It's an assessment we give at the beginning of the school year to get a bead on where they start. They're giving it now in winter to see how they're progressing, and then we give it at the end of the year to see the final growth. But with iExcel, this is a consistent benchmark, a consistent read on where the students are week to week if needed. So it's something that can be utilized every day.
Right.
In
So like I
class.
saw in first grade, I think it was, you know, one of the benchmarks is counting to 100. So this program would have them counting to 100 or counting objects till they get to 100. Like how does it work?
Yeah,
Like
they-
how many objects are on this page?
I
20?
can tell you about the math side of it.
Yeah.
Ethan used it once where he needed some practice on a specific skill in math. And so he was told to get on, you know,
Yeah.
at home and use it. And it gives a problem and you figure the problem, type in your answer. And if you get it right, you go to a little bit harder question.
Yeah.
If you get it wrong, you go back and you do it over again until
Yeah.
you get it right. And they'll give you, I think they give you little tips, don't
It
they?
does. It gives you explanation and tips on
Yeah.
why you got it wrong.
But then the
Help.
teacher can see how many problems the kid did and how long they worked at it and what it took. So it's good for practice.
Yeah.
It's really good for practice.
Very good.
And it helps if used consistently and if the data is analyzed, it can help, you know, fill the gaps, fill the holes where the students are missing what they need to get move on to the next phase of what they need to
Sounds
learn.
good.
So I'm going to train them in the coming weeks on how to analyze that data and then fill those gaps.
I wish I was going to school now.
Pretty impressive, huh? Technology supporting and augmenting classroom instruction is fantastic.
Don't get all that writer's cramp you used to
Yeah,
get, right?
right?
Okay, number 8, we have no old business. Have a list of upcoming meetings listed on here. Our next meeting that we'll be having has already been mentioned. It's gonna be on the 18th, will be informational only. And then.
But that's a Thursday, correct?
That's a
It is.
Thursday.
Just to make sure people know.
6 p.m., right?
Thursday at 6.
6 p.m. here.
Yeah, why isn't that on there?
And then our budget meetings start on January 23rd.
We'll send the articles out ahead of time, like, we'll kind of go over that on Thursday.
Is that a Tuesday?
Yes. After that, all the other meetings are all on Tuesdays.
Okay, and that's 6 o'clock. They're all 6 o'clock,
Yeah.
except for when we come early.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. We went over those and set that calendar. So
Yeah.
we've got the vote on the handbook, so Kim either, send it right out first thing tomorrow morning, budget, Warren Finance and Selectmen, and you guys are all set with that, but we'll send it all out to everybody. Okay, excellent, thank you for that support.
All right then. Can't believe it, but we're ready for a motion to adjourn already.
So moved.
Good.
Second.
All in favor?
Okay.
Do we need to discuss it? No?
Ah.
We already voted.
No,
Can't
thank
discuss it.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.